Hey, so I want to talk about survivor's guilt because this is what has been coming up for me right now. And I dreamed about my family last night, which I have every single night for the past like 3 months. Sometimes I don't even feel like I'm no contact because I'm like still seeing them every single night, and I wake up every single morning feeling like I've seen them. And in this dream I was back in my childhood home, and it was dark, the lights were out, everything was quiet and still, and then I see the Christmas light and it's really beautiful as always. I go closer and see that there are beautiful wrapped presents. My mother always did beautiful presents, and the presents have my name on it. And in the dream I am no contact, and then when I see the presents, the sadness rips through me, thinking she still does presents for me even though I'm gone. And I woke up then crying, and the chorus of Hearts That Bleed by State of Shock was going through my head. And these are the lyrics. She says, I don't want to waste my life hating every goddamn day away. When I sit back and open my eyes, I see we're living two separate lives, like a well gone dry from all the years gone by. It's hard to see through hearts that bleed. It's hard to see. And the song is really perfect, and it still surprises me how Spirit always gives me like the perfect thing. So from the song, I don't want to waste my life being with them, hating every day. And when I open my eye to the truth of NPD, I see that we're living in two different realities. Like a well gone dry, they have no love to give. When your heart is bleeding and wounded, it's hard to see the truth, both for me and for them. It's hard to see with hearts that bleed. So last Christmas, when I told them I wasn't coming, my mother still did presents and a stocking for me, and she's unable to see how I feel because her world is so distorted, and I think she just honestly couldn't grasp that I wasn't coming. And I feel survivor's guilt that I'm leaving them in hell, and this was why it was so hard for me to leave, because they don't understand why. And it's not my fault that they can't see what they choose not to see. So I guess I just have to tell myself that I'm not responsible for their lack of understanding. They are clouding their own perception, and there's nothing I can do about that. I wanted so desperately to bring them out of their suffering, and maybe it's my own powerlessness to do that I'm facing, because they choose their own fate and all I can do is save myself. And maybe this is partly because I was never allowed to be happy as a child, so I feel like I'm breaking the rules by being happy now, and no contact would definitely not have been allowed. And maybe it's this feeling that I only exist for other people, but I do exist for myself. And maybe it's the old story that it's my fault that they're sad and it's my job to fix them. I feel like I've abandoned my duties, but the thing is that I actually can't help them because I tried and it did nothing. And my leaving actually doesn't stop them from being happy if they wanted to be. They're keeping themselves miserable, and I can't blame myself for that. A narcissism survivor did a great video on no contact guilt, and he said that we're trained to believe that we're the problem. So the no contact guilt is just like a symptom of the complex CPTSD, because we do deserve to be happy. And this was really our last resort, you know, because like obviously we didn't want to leave. This was not something that we ever wanted to do, but like it's really the only option. And yeah, I think my dreams are just bringing up like various aspects of my consciousness. It's so interesting how that happens. Like I woke up this morning feeling like it was Christmas of last year. Like I was in the exact same mental space of the guilt just tearing through me, that my mother just could not grasp that I wasn't coming. But that's not my fault that she can't see my truth. She doesn't accept the decisions I've made, and I have to live my life for me, and it's not my fault that they can't see what I see. We are living in two different worlds, and they can't see my perspective because their perspective is so distorted. So I just wanted to share that in case anyone else is going through survivor's guilt, because you deserve to do what you want with your life, and you deserve to be happy, and your choosing to be happy doesn't actually prevent them from being happy. It's just a story you're telling yourself that you were responsible for their happiness. Therefore, if you leave, they're miserable forever. But, you know, they're in charge of their own lives, so like they could be happy if they wanted to. And it's not your responsibility. So, hope this was helpful in some way, and thanks for watching.